and you meet like any of the specifics, you're like, oh shit, I don't want to talk about this anymore. And the best way to gracefully do that is to just dip.
So, I mean, I think that's what Rambler was going to talk about, Aristosthenes in a shadow test. Is that what you were getting at there, Rambler?
Yeah, that was the thing, Aristophanes. Yeah, and I've got a good friend called Thales as well. He did all that kind of stuff. It was thousands of years ago, and these guys didn't have an agenda. They didn't have you know any kind of
Oh, they
conspiracy
did.
theories. They were
They
just
they
sitting
they
there
did.
looking at the stars,
They
going,
were pagans, right?
"Where are we?"
So they wanted to prove that the sun, their
They were
god.
pagans.
Well,
Yes,
let him build
yes.
his whole
No, they were
his
Greeks.
whole
They were
case.
Greeks. They believed in Greek mythology, the Greek gods. They
Yeah,
were
what is
pagans.
what is that? What is pagan
That's
mythology?
pagan.
Yeah.
What's pagan? Sorry.
Having multiple gods, yeah. So
It's,
did
it's
y'all
a
hear what I
pagan
said
pantheon.
earlier?
They invented theology before Jesus. I'm sorry.
Oh, can you prove that, please?
That's not something you invent.
That's false.
Ancient Greeks believed in multiple gods before Jesus existed. Yes.
Yeah, they
not
believed
before the
in
Old
the
Testament. They
they
prophesied
believed
about
in
him.
the Canaanite pantheon. Yeah,
That doesn't
Okay,
matter though.
they just renamed it, right?
There's a bit of a
the
pile on here.
Canaanite pantheon.
Absurd, because this isn't really what we're
Zeus
talking
is
about. Okay,
basically
we're not
Baal,
talking about
right?
Well,
theology.
regardless, hold on, everybody, hold on. Regardless of how many gods the Greeks believed in at one point in time, the Romans and the Greeks basically had the same gods at one point in time, and I think we can all agree on that. But regardless, let's get back over to Aristophanes, and I can guarantee you he was not a god. So
he was not a god.
He was not a god. I can guarantee you that one, and neither was on the rest of them. They're all puny gods. They all
or Thales either. Yeah.
So what do you got going on with Aristophanes? How is this stuff working for you?
Yeah, I guess it's just a case of and you guys, I can already tell that I'm fighting a losing cause here with the idea that you are, well versed with the idea that he understood that he could measure the circumference of the Earth based on shadows,
based on a presumption that it's spherical. You realize that, though, right?
He just assumed the Earth was already a ball.
So this is what I'm saying. So you guys are all piling on straight away. So
I believe Shane was in the middle of a response. We should let him continue, right?
Right. We were going through how he knew that the distance between Alexandria and Syene, which is the significance of 7.2 degree difference in the shadow lengths at equinox, right? Measuring and assuming parallel light, of course. How do you make that 7.2 degrees matter? Well, the Earth's a circle and or a sphere because it applies equally, right? 360 degrees divided by 7.2 is 50. And that was his whole contribution, 50, until you're like, oh, you know what? I happen to know that Alexandria and Syene are, 500 stadia apart. Oh, wait, 800 kilometers apart. So 360 divided by 7.2, 50, it ends up being 40,000 kilometers, right? And then I can get that circumference would be the equatorial circumference, first of all. So that's equal on whatever map you want to draw it out on. And second of all, that's an abstraction. Without knowing how far Alexandria and Syene are, all you have is an abstraction. It's a mathematical ratio, like 1/50th of what? 1/50th of something. That's what he measured with the shadow angles. And until someone already knows the distance, it means nothing. Now the claim then is, how did they know the distance? And what you'll find is, they must have had Bamatis, which are like old school geodetic surveyors, which at the time would have had to walk their feet to use the Roman pace 500 stadia or 800 kilometers to get the distance to accurate standards enough to differentiate, sphere from flat, which is, you want to do the difference between arc and chord over that distance. With their measurements, they never would have been able to tell either way. So that's the real story with Eratosthenes, right? So that's the two angle observation. Now, of course, we always argue with the local sun, two angles doesn't make any difference. It makes the same difference that you can say your table's sphere if you do that sort of math. If you want to add more than one observer, then there's our boy Dr. Z did it, right, with a table and a light with the refractions and measuring the length of the shadows cast by nails, and he put a refraction over the light. So if you have a refraction to the sun, then you can get more than one observer, and then they all focus on the focal point of the sun. And Eratosthenes with more than one multiple observer works perfectly fine on a flat Earth. So yeah, as you were saying, what else you got, dude?
Did you get that, Mr. Engineer?
Oh, sorry, was that somebody poking at me? Mr. Engineer? I just said what I did for a living. I wasn't trying to make a brag about it. Okay, so just try and cool your jets for God's sake. Yeah, no, I get it, and I get that. Back in the day, 3,000 years ago, like obviously only 3,000 years after the Earth existed, that these people were trying to create the methodology. So if we repeat the experiment today with a complete assumption that there is no such thing as a curved Earth, does the same maths work out? Do we still work out the maths, and do we still work out that there's a curvature? The answer is yes, clearly. So I'm not entirely sure. We can go back to
Have you done it? Have you
Greek
done the
historians.
experiment? You said clearly. Have
Well,
you
I
done the
personally done
experiment?
the experiment. No, I haven't done the experiment personally.
So how can you say clearly?
You
How can
can
you
do
say
it,
clearly?
and I could do it. Yeah.
Well, time out. Why are you
definitely could.
interrupting me? You said clearly. You said clearly it works, but you haven't done it. So I'm just wondering, how do you know clearly it works?
Okay, so I read a lot of texts. I read a lot of peer-reviewed papers. I review substantial amounts of engineering and physics texts, and uh, I believe, just like you guys maybe believe that the Earth is 6,000 years old, that yeah,
exactly
you
our
can
point.
Pardon?
Exactly
Wow,
our
way to
point.
project.
Right. You have a belief system that is based on ancient pagan sun god worship, on
No. I
ancient
have a belief.
yeah. Hold on. On
Okay, go
ancient
for it. I beg your pardon.
pagan phallus worship, right? It's all based on paganism, and you're referencing your scripture, right? Your white coated engineers and scientists are your high priests. Right? So you're exactly in the same position as we are. You have a belief system. You cannot confirm anything of that. And most of it that actually your scientists claim has been debunked over and over and over. That's why they always have to come up with new solutions, right? With new math magic, with new concept like dark matter and dark energy.
Okay, you finished. Okay, no, I've never ever had to come up with new magic. I've never ever had to come up with any kind of new arguments. It's for me, it always seems that it's completely contrary to that. It's always you people that have to come up with new arguments every
Okay.
single time.
Okay.
What the fuck do you mean, you
Hold
people?
on, Drew, dude. Or it's
Man,
like
why is
hold
everything
it,
so
hold it,
confusing? I need to
hold
be
it.
used here. Okay,
Hold it.
You mean scientists?
I gotta
answer questions.
I gotta take you to task, my man. I mean, first off, all this generalization, this projection, this what I believe. You know nothing about what I believe, and frankly, I don't even operate on what I believe. Quite the opposite. Okay, why are you talking? Quite the opposite. I operate on evidence, empirical, replicable. I don't believe anything. None of my belief drives anything why I'm here talking to you right now. And now, when you say, oh well, I read a lot of peer-reviewed papers and I read a lot of textbooks, and it sounds like you think you're alone on that. Like we don't know how to read or something. It's really interesting the way you poison the well when you talk and try to make your point. And to think that we don't see you doing that after we've been doing this for closer to 150 Fridays in a row. I mean, that's beyond arrogance. That's beyond ignorance. And I think you better peel it back a ratchet or two. And then maybe we'll get somewhere.
To be honest, I joined this chat because I started talking to the moderator earlier on.
Great.
I've been completely open and honest. I've got no pre-discussion going on here. Okay, I'm here to talk to you as an honest person.
No, you aren't.
My beliefs.
You're here to poison the well. You're here to generalize. You're here to project onto me what you think I am and what I believe, as if that's relevant.
I don't care what you think. I don't give a damn what you think.
No, you're telling me what you think. That's the problem, and I'm taking objection to it.
Because that's the point of this discussion, right?
I'm telling you what I think. I'm sorry to mute the room, but I mean, when you kind of went to what we think about how old the Earth is, the Earth's age, like I said, carbon dating's a bunk science. I mean, like I said, putting a gun to my head, I couldn't prove it because I don't know. I wasn't here when it was made. That whole thing is just based off of some other stuff I went with, and I believe that a whole lot more. So the age of the Earth, I mean, seriously, let's get off of that and go with some empirical stuff and get off the stuff that's left for chance and stuff. All right, carbon dating's a bunk science. Even when I was believing in the globe, when you told me that the Earth was 4.5 billion years old because you pour some goose on a rock and fucking looked under a microscope, I thought that was kind of fucking bullshit. All right, so I mean, you don't have to be a flat earther to not believe some of the bullshit they're telling you. All right, so let's get off of that stuff and just stick with the stuff that we can prove, man. Like, does anybody know what the circumference of the Earth is? I mean, do you know what the circumference of the Earth is there, Ramble?
I'd also like to get him off of anecdote. And frankly, what happened in some guy's
He's been
made-up
pretty
story
respectful for the most
about
part, so I ain't gonna get back on him.
so many eons ago about some guy you think paid someone else to track 800 kilometers to figure out the distance between two places north south of each other through Egypt. Like out of nowhere. This is an absolutely outrageous story that you think is fact-based. I'd like to get off the anecdote and back to the empirical. I can see Shane approving to no end, and I'm glad that you are, Shane. Enjoy the way I'm owning this guy. So, Rambler, if you would like to get back to anything remotely scientific, that's why Shane ended with what else you got. You cool?
The host is gonna be
The funny
killed. You're
thing
gonna
here
get
is,
your
right,
head blown off, buddy. Stay safe, pussy. You're gonna get killed.
okay. B flat. Okay, I joined this conversation because I thought it was going to be respectful. I thought it was going to be interesting. I thought it was going to be, I don't know, an opportunity to kind of understand from your perspective what you guys think. And
Doesn't sound like it at all.
Yeah. Okay. Let's be
hang
honest
on.
here.
One
Yeah.
second,
You
interrupt me again.
joined to
No,
basically make
no. I
fun of
joined
a
the room because I
little
was
retarded
invited.
flat earthers, right? You thought, well, I'm an engineer. I can teach
Oh,
them,
for God's sake!
right? I
This is
can.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
He
So-
called us
so
conspiracy
hold on,
theorists.
Veritas,
You
Actually
people,
talk about what I joined for, because this is stupid now.
No, look, man, look. We get that you don't understand what's going on, and you're obviously going to throw out some of the fallacies out there. When we point them out to you, it isn't to attack you; it's to show you that you're using a fallacy.
I don't mind. I don't mind evidential pointing out. What I do mind is people attacking me personally. Okay.
Now you seem like so far you've been pretty fucking decent as far as that goes. Like you have
That's
thrown a
what
lot
I'm
of
trying to
fallacies
do,
out there and
okay?
generalizations out there, but it's typical. But for the most part, you haven't called anybody a fucking retard or anything like that. So
I haven't called anybody anything.
So I think we can reciprocate that a little bit. But you are
And quite.
when we're pointing out the fallacies, it's not an attack on you, but
It's fine. I don't mind
And
being.
quite. I did not
fallacy
attack you
pointed out.
personally,
What I
by
do
the way.
object to is people
I
telling
did
me
not.
that-
Hey, Rambler, I did not attack you personally, by the way. I attacked what you did and what you said. Okay.
Okay, but what I was saying is it Stone? Yeah, yeah. What I was saying was that I wasn't generalizing about the group of individuals that believe in what you believe in. I was literally saying what I believe in, my understanding of how life has gone for the last 3,000-4,000 years, and trying to give you my understanding of science in that period. I wasn't trying to undermine your belief systems, your particular theories on whatever happens in
No, the
your
word is
world.
discredit, not undermine.
Pardon?
The word is discredit. And you did it by poisoning the well and generalizing. Yes, you did.
Sorry.
And projecting. That's what you did.
Okay, so tell
You
me how I
said, well,
poisoned.
well, yeah, you said not like you guys
Sorry.
who believe such and such. I do this. You know what I mean? You literally condescendingly put us down in the middle of your rant, which was completely devoid of evidentiary fact.
Okay, all right. Well, then for that, I apologize, because that's the last thing I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was to just to delineate my belief from your beliefs. That's all, and I wanted to do it in a respectful way, and I clearly failed. So
Oh, no,
for that,
just
No,
by
you're doing all right,
expressing your
man. You're
beliefs,
doing all
we
right.
can make the distinction ourselves. Just tell us
Yeah,
what
okay,
you're
so
at.
again,
Don't talk
I
about where
apologize.
we're at, okay?
Again, I apologize. Why don't you just go back to your echo chamber then? I was
No.
here to try and be part
No,
of a conversation.
dude, we're
And
we're
it
having a
clearly
conversation. You're all
turns
right,
out to
man.
be something
You're
that I
doing
wasn't welcome here any longer.
you're doing fine, man. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. Don't you ain't got to go. But I did want to add this. This is the part where it gets where we just want to ask some questions, because we all had to go through this stuff too, because a lot of people really don't know. All right. Do you know what the circumference of the Earth is?
Are you talking to me now?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Oh God. What?
Yeah, I guess the answer is no.
I mean,
25,000
if you don't know the circumference, I'm betting you don't know the radius, right? I mean,
It's
these are
25,000
important things.
miles, yeah.
It was
8,600.
pretty obvious that he was talking to you, Rambler.
Rambler, I was talking to you. I'm sorry. Do you know what the circumference and the radius is?
25,000 miles, yeah.
Roughly. Do you know what the radius is?
8,600 miles, whatever.
Yeah,
Divide that by 2 pi, yeah.
that's a diameter. The radius is 3,959 miles.
39,000 miles. Yeah.
In the radius, or the diameter is closer to like 13.
No, 3,900, buddy.
Yeah,
Cool.
3959. 3,959 miles.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
This is the
Allegedly,
model we're presented with. Rambler, man, sometimes like we'll just let you do what you do, like in your name, just ramble, and then try to establish a baseline with you. And if you can't even tell me how far away your model, the thing that you're vehemently defending so eloquently, because you're just trying to have a conversation, you can't tell me how far away the moon is. You can't tell me how far away the sun is. You don't know the R value of the thing that you allege that you're standing on. We have an issue. Can you not see that?
Yeah, I can. It's 2 a.m. where I am, so to be fair, I'm a little tired. But you're right. Okay, I should have all
Where are you
these
at, man? Are you in Australia? You
statistics.
sound like an Australian bloke. Are you not in Australia?
No,
No, he's British.
yeah, I'm in the UK.
In the UK.
Yeah.
You're not in
yeah.
Wales, are you?
What a wanker! Bottle of water, that kind of thing. Just that kind
Yeah,
of vibe.
right on, man. I know. Hey, I appreciate it, Rambler. Like, I know it gets late and all that, but like, I don't care how late it gets. Like, it doesn't change the fact that you don't understand what you're defending, and that's the issue that we have. Like,
Kind
yeah,
of do
I feel
understand what
like
I'm
you're
saying
coming
is
here
I
in
don't
good faith.
necessarily understand. I don't necessarily have the ability to recall instantly the distance between the Earth and the moon.
Well, that's
Yeah,
weird because we do.
300,000 kilometers. The distance to the moon.
Well,
to
that's
the sun.
strange because
But
we do.
to his point, though,
Yeah, of
you don't
course you
know
do. 'Cause
anything.
it's
It
really
doesn't sound like you
fundamental
know.
to you guys.
It does. But there's just real quick though. It doesn't sound like, and I had my hand up, but you know anything, and you claim to be a scientist and have an engineering degree and all this. But we ask you everything about all these different topics, and you come up with goose eggs across the board. So
What's
again,
goose eggs?
it means nothing.
Oh, goose eggs, nothing. Okay, cool.
He would say nil. He would say nil. He wouldn't say goose eggs.
Nil, nothing, nada.
From the UK, man. He goes by. So
But, and that's why, and that's why Stone was
we can
upset,
work with
and
the
that,
language barrier. It's fine.
and that's why Stone was upset. That's why I'm upset. That's why Orwellian. I don't want to say upset, but it's just to be condescended, and it's always an appeal to an authority, appeal to credentials. Then when we break down the topics, like
Allison, mute yourself or
Oh
get
my
the fuck
God.
out of here.
yeah, and then we break down the topics like Shane did, and then we ask you, okay, well, what do you actually got? It's like, okay, well, I think I'm just gonna leave. You guys are being mean, and it's just like, okay, man, do you have any actual evidence?
Yeah, but I didn't leave. I've been like an hour and a half.
No, you've been actually pretty fucking decent, man. I ain't gonna hate on you. You're up at 2:00 in the morning, man. So that's
You can hate on me as much as you like. I
ain't got no reason to yet, man.
We all come to this discussion with no definitive answer. Okay,
Well,
and
the
B
reason why
Flat was one of the guys. What B Flat's or he texted me on Twitter, and we were talking a little bit, and it was a bit aggressive, but that's fine. And he said, "Oh, come on, let's bring it on." So I thought, okay, I'll bring it on. So I came on here,
and I fucking applaud you for that, man. A lot of people don't. So, but you do realize. So the reason why I asked you what the diameter and the radius is, do you know what the Earth curvature drop rate is?
God's sake, no! Why would I need to know that?
Well, this is pretty much the creme de la creme of why most of us became flat earthers, because we learned that the Earth should curve away from you at 8 inches per mile squared, and it does not do that.
Okay, so I had one thought experiment. Okay, for this, if you don't mind, all of you guys, just give me 1 second. Which was, I wanted to understand if you placed a laser in the UK and pointed it at France. France is 25, 30 miles away from the UK, okay, down in Kent. Is the laser going to land at the same altitude above the ground in France? And the answer is no, it doesn't. It lands above the ground. And I don't understand why, unless the Earth is curved.
How much above?
I need some more parameters.
Could be a centimeter, could be 2 centimeters, could be an inch, whatever.
Well, no, that's the thing, though. Time out. That's the thing. At 30 miles, it should be, I think, 400 feet or something beneath. So if it's 2 inches off, that's much
600 feet.
Much closer to a flat Earth than a globe Earth. So for you to be like, oh, centimeter, inch, it doesn't matter, because there could be other factors that would cause that laser to be up an inch or two. where again, very close to a flat Earth. So for you to just say, no, it means it's a globe is
I
completely
didn't say that.
dishonest and yeah, well, it
I
kind of
didn't
is
say
what you
that.
said.
No, I didn't go. I didn't say that. I said
I
my
got
thought
something for.
experiment.
I got something for.
Fair
My thought
enough. He
experiment was
didn't actually make
what
that
would
sound.
happen if you
Well,
did
let me
have a globe.
quantify your response for you. You just said 30 miles. Well, the drop over distance of the curvature of the Earth is 600 feet. You're saying, well, it might have lifted a little, an inch, a foot. I'd even give you 10 feet. The point is that the fact that you can see it at all on the other side is proof that the Earth is not curved to a circumferential length of 2,400 or 24,901 miles, and not even close. The point is that it's flat. That 600 feet of drop is not what we observe. In fact, when you look off Dover to the south-southeast, you actually see the marinas on the other side on a good day with good atmospheric conditions. I've seen photographic proof of that.
Are you
Observer
familiar
height,
with the?
observer height no more than 20 to 40 feet off the water, shooting straight across, looking at targets no more than 10, 15 feet off the water.
Are
It
you
should
familiar?
not be possible.
Are you familiar with the Earth curvature calculator there, Rambler?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's interesting that you mentioned curvature, because if there's no curvature, there's no curvature. It's either flat or it's curved, right? I don't understand.
Right. And we're just telling you mathematically how curved it's claimed to be, yet we are not seeing that in the observations, quite the opposite.
So
Yeah.
I just put up there in the Jumbotron 35.8 mile laser test. It's 2 minutes 24 seconds long. You can have a look-see at that when you actually start to realize, like in 10 miles at 8 inches per mile squared. Do you know what the Earth should curve at? Do you know what the Earth curvature drop should
The
be?
drop over that distance.
No, I don't have that calculation in my head.
This
Why would
is important, man. Like I said, man, this is the granddaddy of them all that made us all flat earthers. The lack of curvature.
The answer is 67 feet, by the way.
66.6 feet.
Oh, interesting. 66.6.
Yeah.
So
Isn't it
666.
though? 10
Wow.
miles.
Kind of weird with the sixes.
Yeah, there we
got
go.
a lot of those. We got a lot of those. The math magicians really
Yeah.
love that.
Bill Gates is coming into play now.
So, I mean, and to do this, to figure out, say we said 35 miles, you take 35, you multiply that by 35, you hit equal, you multiply that by 8, you get 9,800 inches, divide that by 12 for a foot, and you get 816 feet, 816.66666666 feet. So
Yeah,
over
okay.
35 miles, there should be 800 feet of drop over distance, and these guys did a laser test and saw it on the other side.
Yeah.
What else you got, man?
I don't have anything. I'm not here to prove anything. I'm just here to discuss things with you guys.
Yeah. What else did you want to discuss?
It's like you guys think I'm here for some kind of spokesperson for a globe. It's, you know.
Well, you're
it's just-
talking about your beliefs. I thought you had a few
Yeah,
more.
I'm talking about my beliefs, but you know, I could talk about your beliefs, and I'm not.
Well, no, that's
dismissing
the
your
thing.
beliefs.
Is
I'm
I'd stated
saying
that before. I
it's-
guess
it's
you
not-
missed it. Is that
Pardon?
I don't speak of my belief. Yeah, I stated it before. I guess you just weren't listening or didn't understand me when I said that I do not speak on my beliefs. Quite the contrary. I focus only on evidentiary, empirical, replicable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those kinds
So,
of things.
I mean, that's that's
The
a
real.
very admirable. That's really admirable. You're a very admirable person.
It's
You
just
should
an
be very
MO.
proud
I
of
wasn't
yourself.
looking for a badge.
No, you should get a
Rambler,
badge for that. You should get
Rambler,
a
is
badge
it fair
and
to
a hat
say? Is it
and
fair
a
to say that
crown.
you don't really know that much about this globe that you vehemently defend?
Who's vehemently defending anything?
I'm just saying you can't really. You don't have any evidence, so to speak, that you live on a ball. You said
Evidence
it's
of what? Sorry. I've given
evidence you
you.
live on a ball. We just said our observations counter the fact that you live on a ball. and we could provide you those observations, lasers, long distance observations, radio frequency. So do you have any evidence to suggest you live on a spinning ball, or do you know anything about the globe model, or is it just the fact that scientists who are smarter than you just can't believe there's a conspiracy that big?
Do you know,
That's kind of what you
everything that
started
you
off
people have
saying.
said to me tonight has been insulting. Every single
Well,
one
no,
of
I'm not
you
trying to be
has
insulting.
literally insulted
No,
me.
my main point
I
This
didn't
is
insult you
so-called
once.
engineer thing. There's been really, it's been
okay. I'm sorry.
a
I
really
did not
interesting
insult you
evening.
once.
I'm sorry.
I don't
Like
think
you.
he. I don't
And
think
all
he
you
was
do is
insulting you
just
there, Ram.
basically insult me.
Listen here.
for coming up here and being
I'm
brave
sorry
enough.
because
You
the
can
thing
stop
is,
playing the victim now.
yeah, I get
I'm
triggered though
playing the
because all
victim.
these.
I'm not playing the victim at all.
I'm sorry.
There's
I'm
nothing.
sorry,
There's
dude.
no
I'm
victim
sorry.
here.
Listen, the thing is, I get traumatized and triggered because I've been in these spaces for so long, and these people come in, they call us stupid, and they say, "Oh, there's all this science, there's all this math, there's all this physics," and they literally don't know any of it. All these stick tests, and they just very surface level understand it proves the Earth's not flat, but they don't know anything about the science, and so it's just so frustrating and so condescending. And that's why I phrase it to you that way. I'm like, do you have anything? And that's why Stone's asking, like, I just wish people would be a little more humble and say, yeah, I really don't know. I haven't looked into it, and would just be a little more accepting of stuff. Like you said something about we don't know what's in the middle of the flat earth, or we don't know what's underneath. Like, do you know what's in the middle of the earth? Do you know they dug a hole 8 miles deep and they were wrong about all their predictions, but they teach you in school what's down there all the way? And same thing with the dinosaurs for you to gaslight and condescend, because it's not that I don't necessarily believe, but I know there's some lies that they've been telling us, and to catch them telling lies over and over again, and we're just saying, what's up, man? And we're trying to get you to question what you're being told too. So just, yeah, I don't know, just be open-minded, and I'll land. Sorry.
Okay, no, honestly, let me respond to that because it's really important. I'm really desperately sorry if I've made you feel that I've upset you or I've said anything that you feel that's, condescending towards you specifically, because that's definitely not what I wanted to do. I joined this conversation this evening just purely out of interest. I'm not a flat Earth versus global Earth kind of guy. I'm just thinking, I wanted to have a conversation because of my beliefs in what I think. I've been absolutely railed tonight by some of you people. It's unbelievable. And it kind
Oh
of
my
really is.
gosh.
Oh my gosh, it really is kind of why there's a problem with this kind of discussion, because it needs to be more level playing field. You
We've
need people like
What the hell are you talking about?
What you actually mean is you like to be condescending, but you don't like to be condescended.
why am I
Just
give
can
me an
only
example of
dish
being
it out.
condescending. Give me an example of me being condescending tonight. Go on.
You people.
You can't be serious.
So
people.
let's move on from that, and we'll just pretend it didn't happen.
Jesus Christ, you people. Jesus.
So I just want to point out that right there.
Becoming religious.
There he goes again.
I just want to say that right there was an example of you being condescending. But like I said, we're going to pretend like that didn't happen, and we're going to start over again. What is your best proof that the Earth is, say, orbiting the sun? What do you got?
Seasons. B-flat, I think, to be fair, I think I'm losing this completely because it's just about attacking me now.
No one's attacking you.
No, you said seasons. So what about seasons proves the Earth's a ball?
It is funny when we hear that a lot. So sorry if everybody laughed.
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear a reaction at all.
There were some emojis.
Well, no.
Do you see how you went from? Oh, wait, real quick. Do you see how you went from? Do you see how you went from seasons? And I'm sorry to be so aggressive. To everyone's attacking me. So what about seasons prove the Earth's a ball? Awkward silence. You don't really know much about seasons, it turns out, and that's what's frustrating to us. You say seasons, and then there's nothing.
Brian, it's Carmine here. I'm going to offer Rambler the very same thing.
Carmine, nobody asked you for anything. Carmine, shut the fuck up. We're not talking to you yet.
Okay, I'll wait.
Hey, B-Flat, thank you for your opportunity to let me be part of the conversation this evening. I'm sorry that I didn't live up to your expectations, everybody.
You're doing fine, man. You're doing fine.
No,
I
no,
just want you to just take a look at what you think because we were all there, man. We all know how you feel.
but
we felt the same way.
This is playground tactics, right?
No, it's not. No, it's
25
not.
of you.
Somebody had to
one of
tell us.
me.
Hold on a second, that Rambler. Somebody had to tell us that the Earth was flat, and we all said, "What?" And then they said that it doesn't move either, and we said, "What?" And then they said space is fake, and we all said, "What?" But we actually just looked into it, listened to what they said, and actually looked into it. And then when they asked us questions like how big you think the Earth is and all this stuff, we realized that we didn't know much about it. And then we looked into it and it's like, well, this isn't panning out. That's why we ask you these questions. It's not to attack you. It's to bring to the forefront here that no one really got taught what the fuck they think we're living on.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that.
Did anybody in your you say you're over 50, right? I'm over 50. You said you're over 50. In your over 50 years, did you ever hear anybody say that the Earth curves at 8 inches per mile squared before today?
No, because that wasn't ever a topic for that kind of analytical discussion.
Isn't that weird?
Well, no. Why would that be the case?
If you say the Earth is a ball,
accelerate it at 2.75 inches per second. Nobody says that.
I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, but I'm saying
talking about the Earth's curvature, though.
Level of analytical detail is not a common.
That's not an analytical detail. That's an important fact.
Yeah, but it's analytical. It's really
it's not. It's actually an important fact. All right, it's important. I mean, how else would you tell that the Earth is curving without knowing what the Earth curves at?
Is it ironic that an engineer is trying to take this stance?
I mean, seriously.
Oh God! All right.
I mean, at the end of the day, Rambler, like, I know it seems like everybody's jumping down your throat and shit, and to some extent, some of us may be, but yeah, I mean, to Brian's point, I'm in my mid-40s, right? And I have been conditioned to believe that, we launch rockets into space, and Nixon made a phone call to the moon and all this other shit, right? Without any context or education in school to help me like kind of square that circle at all. It's just an authority telling me that I need to regurgitate this fact, right? It's a fact now. It's less about you and us and any of this, and it's kind of more about the way we're quote unquote educated, which most of us in here believe is just an indoctrination. It really is. I'm not taught how to think. I'm taught how to recite the right information. And if I can recite the right information correctly and especially quickly and articulate it, wow, dude, I really get a gold star, right? But nobody really slows down enough is the point that we're getting at here, Rambler. Nobody really slows down enough to go, wait a minute. So this is what I've been, this is what I passed this class based on just kind of reciting this, but never really thought it through. So us, the people here in this space that are talking to you, eventually, however it came to be, started going, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, I passed the class, but the shit that I regurgitated doesn't fucking make sense. And the math doesn't math, right? And it just starts leading you into this. It's almost like a reverse wormhole. Like we're working backwards trying to figure out how we got fucked. Because once you realize you got tricked one time, it's pretty difficult to continue to trick a person, right? But somebody that thinks critically is like, wait, hold on a second. What else, right? The danger therein lies like, you might want to be kind of careful and make sure not all dots connect because you might be turning into a schizophrenic. But just based on this model that we're talking about, right? The globe model, the math that was presented, everything else that allegedly functions based on this math doesn't work. So if one thing doesn't work, the Earth curvature, for example, which is huge, like Brian said, if that math doesn't math, something is very incorrect. And if that something is very incorrect, what else does that make incorrect?
that we base these models off of, right? Satellites allegedly floating around, so on and so forth. The natural inclination should be curiosity, right? Not defensiveness. Like, I need to defend this model that I can't even fucking articulate or explain because it was taught to me since I was a child. Like, the issue we have is that, like, I have 3 young children, I have 3 young boys, and they're being taught similar things without question, right? They just, okay, well, the authority that I must appeal to said that this is what it is, so this is what it is, right? All of it's scalable, upward or downward, right? Upstream, downstream, it's all scalable, right? So let's reverse it a couple generations. Like, anybody could have at any point been like, wait a minute, so you've been teaching me math and then you told me that this is, you know what, do you get what we're getting at? Like, some of the reason why so many people in these spaces get so frustrated is because we deal with this quite often, and it's hard to break the spell for people. And I'm not going to convince you. I don't have a job. This isn't a job. I do this shit for fun. I know I've been lied to, man. I have the conversation because it's worth having. But you know, if you're not amenable to the information, if you can't adjust your position when presented with things that are contrary to your indoctrination, I don't know how to have the conversation with you. I can't put training wheels on for you and me to, like, kind of get to the same fucking starting point or end point here, man. It just is what it is. So it can come across condescending, and I hope I didn't come across that way. I know that I am very capable of coming across that way, and have probably with many people, but you seem like a pretty curious person. It just, you know, when people throw their credentials out there, I'm an engineer, I'm a this, that's fine. And that's, you know, be proud of that. You did that. But what is that relevant to what we're talking about? Probably not. So maybe don't lead with it, and people won't be on the defensive. I'm going to land it there, buddy. Rambler, I mean, anybody that's willing to have a good faith conversation with us, I think most of us are here for you, right? And we're going to have that conversation. So, you know, I'm not speaking for the community. I'm just speaking for myself, man. Sometimes I come off half-cocked and I might seem condescending, but at the end of the day, I'm really just trying to have the conversation. I'll land it there.
That was right down the middle, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Just one point of confirmation. I did not lead with I'm an engineer. I did not lead with any of my credentials. I was asked what I did for a living, and so I answered the question. I never came.
That's fair. I'll concede that.
Never said to anybody that I was some kind of expert in anything. I never came across to start this conversation with I'm a globalist, anything. I never said any of that kind of stuff at all. I was just here because I'd had a conversation with B Flat just on Twitter, and I decided to turn up to the chat because I thought it would be interesting. And I've been I've been attacked. Yeah, okay, you'll all pile on that, but I did not ever claim any kind of credentials on anything. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I'll concede that point, Rambler, and I don't think we need to get any further into it. You probably won't get more of a heartfelt apology than you got from me. I don't think we need to continue down that road, but yeah, I will concede that point, man. It was more of a generalization. Didn't mean to target that directly at you, but we get a lot of that. We get a lot of people that just lead with their credentials, and then you try to establish a baseline with them, right? And they couldn't even tell me how far away allegedly the moon is from the surface of the earth, for example. So it's not so much you as it is kind of we do need to take these things on more of a case by case basis type of situation, right? And some of us come off half cocked. Like I said, I'm not going to apologize again, man, but I'll concede your point. Yeah, I don't think it's relevant.
We do have some hands up, and appreciate everybody for being patient like that. I got one more thing for Rambler. Let's see. We touched curvature. We touched motion. Do you think a pressurized system can be right next to a vacuum?
Oh man, I think that there's a graduated pressurized system. but that's classic. Gonna feed right into your kind of belief system, isn't it? So I think gravity and pressure, air pressure, etc., gets less the higher up you go, and therefore there is a kind of atmosphere. Have you heard of the word atmosphere? I guess. So yeah, that's my belief.
How far do you think that atmosphere goes?
Oh, good question.
And what do you think is keeping that atmosphere from just simply obeying the ideal gas law and immediately explosively blowing outward until it equalizes?
Yeah. Can I counter that with the question? Well, do you think there's an atmosphere on a flat Earth, and what would stop that exploding?
Well, that's evident.
Yes,
That's
we all believe
evident.
there's an atmosphere.
But we also believe there's containment thereof.
Do you know what ideal gas law is? Is that why you didn't answer his question because you didn't know, or what?
I didn't know what.
What the ideal gas law is.
Do you know the
and what it
implications of
implies.
the globe?
Sorry, too many people talking at the same time. What was the question again?
About the ideal gas law and what it implies. Are you
The
aware
ideal
of
gas
that?
law. Well, yeah, that's
No, it's a good answer.
5 years ago. That the ideal gas law, terrible. So, what are you suggesting that would be a confirmation that we don't have a spherical Earth because of the ideal gas law, meaning that the atmosphere would be torn away because of the vacuum in space?
No,
entirely.
it doesn't pertain to the shape of the Earth.
I don't know about torn away necessarily, but because when we talk about the physics of it, it's about the fact that there is pressure to begin with. We have it evidently at 14.8 psi on the surface. And the energy state that a gas is dictates what it does when left on its own. And the idea here is that this is why I asked you about how much atmosphere do we have? How far up does it go? Well, NASA starts to talk about the layer of it called the exosphere. And that's between 30,000 miles from the surface and 120,000 miles from the surface. And that's halfway to the moon, man. And they're still saying that that's part of the exosphere, so to speak. And the premise here that all the globies are relying on is somehow gravity is the container, is the thing that contains the atmosphere. You say that it is gradual and it goes outwards, and okay, great. But the problem is the formula itself, the gravitational formula that Newton handed us allegedly, and that R squared is the denominator. So
we're GMM over R squared, right?
Right, but when we put that real world figure in there, and we start with 9.8 meters per second squared here down at the surface, by the time we get to 30,000 miles, there's only 1.3% of that left. And it's actually down to 0.1% by the time you hit 120,000 miles. So gravity is obviously not the thing holding the atmosphere to the surface. Now, is it? According to your own formula, it cannot be.
According to my own formula. It's not my formula, but yeah.
Well, mainstream physics formula. You don't have to own that.
Yeah, I take your point. Yeah, I wouldn't take credit for that. Yeah. That's a good question. I mean, again, I'd like to reiterate that I'm coming into this conversation as a guest.
Oh no, frankly, Rambler, I've been waiting for you to reciprocate my demand for empiricism and ask me what I might have.
Well, yeah, I feel like I'm somewhat outnumbered, about 75 to 1, so I don't think
that
that's
doesn't
good.
matter. Oh no, that
it definitely matters, because
I was just talking about our discussion.
Yeah, I know, and I appreciate that. Thank you, but
but you're still not going to ask. I love it.
Well, no one's attacking you there, Rambler.
He won't take the bait.
Well, that is flatly.
I mean, V got a little aggressive. I ain't gonna lie, but
I'm trying to imply that I have data for you.
He admitted that he did that. So
I've been mogged tonight, as they call it in the UK.
You really haven't. I mean, there's been a couple of tense moments. I ain't gonna lie about that.
Yeah. but I'm still here.
It isn't like you haven't said some things that were kind of condescending to us in the process. But like I said, I'm not going to worry about it because
respond, because I definitely, under any circumstance, would absolutely apologize for being condescending to any of you and any of your followers, any of the people on the call, because that's the last thing I want to do. Okay,
I want to do two things. I want to invite you back for next Friday night, and in the meanwhile, I want to equip you. Are you ready?
Oh, you want to equip? You sound, to be fair, you sound like somebody that I could spend a few dollars on, because it's like one of these things where you spend $10 and you get a special prize.
Oh, well, I can't be bought, but you have merely to ask.
You can equip me. It sounds fantastic. Yeah, honestly, I'd be.
Well, I'm not bullshitting you.
Yeah, you came in here pretty unarmed, right? We're expecting a gunfight, and you came with a knife.
So are you going to consent?
Are you suggesting that I'm from Britain with a knife? Yeah,
I'm talking to you.
All right, leave the poor Brits alone, man.
Leave the Brits alone. Yeah, leave us alone.
So in the meantime, Rambler,
let him hang on in quiet desperation. But Stone, give him some toss, man.
Rambler, between now and next Friday night, there's somewhere where I want you to spend a little time, and it's my Rumble channel. And you can find it. It's easy to remember. It's Flat Earth Man of Stone. You type that in the search engine, you'll find my page. There's about 50 videos that you need to watch. And I recommend that you go back chronologically how I've posted them. You know what I mean? Start on page 3 and work you back to the current stuff. And I think for sake of continuity, that will help you with everything that I want you to ingest before next Friday night. And when you do, I can't wait to hear what you say after you take in that amount of information.
Okay. All right. Well, that's, I'm an open-minded kind of guy.
Well, then I hope that you follow through.
Yeah, in English, that means you shit yourself. That's okay.
Most of my videos are quite short, and I recommend frequent use of the pause button when you watch my material. Most of it, it's very succinct, and there's a lot of detail in a lot of them. So you know what I mean? It's not your usual fodder, which is why I'm personally recommending it. Between now and next Friday, you have about 50 videos to watch and understand before you come back and talk to us again. I can't wait until then.
I'll see what I can do.
Again, Flat Earth Man of Stone. Say it to me. Flat Earth Man of Stone. Say it. You got it?
Got the tab open. It's all right. It's all good. It's all good.
Excellent. Enjoy. Enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So
let me take a bet here. I would assume he won't come back, and he will not have watched one video.
Okay, I'm gonna give Rambler a little more credit. Veritas, I'm gonna give Rambler a little more credit than that. I think that.
Hey, we'll see on Friday. But frankly, Rambler, hey man, the statistic is nearly nobody does. Are you gonna be that guy who does? That would be really cool.
I'm here for it.
All right, that's what they say now. That's what they all say now. Well, let's see.
2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. where I am. So
you got 7 days. Spend it how you want it.
Start this earlier, then it's all good. But man alive.
Yeah,
you got 7 days. Spend it how you want it.
Have another drink and you'll be all right. But we do have some hands here. So let's swing on over to Carmine Taylor, then Barbara Dan.
Thank you, Brian. I won't be very long. Rambler and anyone else, I posted in the Purple Pill comment section a link to a document called Zetetic Astronomy. I'm kind of going to that as my go-to. If videos aren't enough, this is a very, very clearly well-written read with some very simple experiments that Samuel Robotham conducted. So Rambler, everyone else, anyone else who's looking for more compelling and high-quality proofs, check that document out, Zetetic Astronomy. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, dude.
Hey, Brian.
Carmine, real quick, guys. I owe Carmine an apology. When we were trying to stay focused on Rambler, I felt that it was just going to get out of control, and it's not my
Oh,
space.
it's all good, brother. It's all
I
good.
told Carmine to shut the fuck up and don't come off mic because I wanted to hear what Rambler said. So I apologize, brother, and
It's all
I'll
good.
end it
It's
there. We'll
all
keep
good.
it moving.
You know, rooms can get little.
I thought he was about to pull a weapon.
Jesus.
I
We've suddenly got tough, man.
All right,
You
hey,
Americans.
calm
Jesus,
down,
calm it down.
Stone. Calm down, Stone.
I had my hand up for an hour. By the way, I think I was before Taylor.
I'm only the British guy.
Boy,
If
aren't
you
you
guys want to
special?
decide, that's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Great being
Joseph. I
another
didn't
British guy.
even see you were in here. I did see your hand up. So what do you got, Joseph?
Well, actually, I came in when you guys were discussing the religion and Christianity thing, and I think who was it? Yeah, Veritas was discussing it and discussing the difference between paganism and Christianity. And I just thought it was and Taylor had a few comments about prime mover and stuff. I thought that was interesting. I'm actually part of the Illuminati order and part of the ancient order of the Illuminati. I'm a 10th degree Illuminatus, and we're definitely pagan, definitely not Christian.
Good
Okay,
confirmation.
what was the point of sharing that information, Joseph?
You waited an hour
Well,
to say that?
Just if you guys wanted to discuss more about the religious aspects of whether, I don't know, flat earth and stuff, I just thought it was an interesting discussion. So it's interesting that you're associating that to be consistently Christian would be, supporting the flat earth idea, whereas spherical earth would be paganism, right? That's what you basically said, Veritas said.
Flat Earth is not exclusively Christian.
I think it's pretty moot, but go for it.
Yeah, that's you're condensing my take here. I said that the heliocentric model is based on pagan belief.
Yeah, I would say that's fine. That's accurate. Yeah, I'd accept that. But that's but you present that as a criticism?
Okay. Take it for what you will. But the point is that modern day materialistic scientism is trying to discredit creation, right? With basically every single aspect.
Yeah,
So
modern.
it is born out of quite literally, by definition, Satanism.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Yeah, modern materialism is certainly its own unique phenomenon. Seems to be rooted in Judaism, seems to be a product of Jewish thinking, the Jewish mind. And that's still distinct. Modern materialism is pretty distinct from the traditional, or from the European intellectual tradition, and certainly from traditional paganism. Modern scientific materialism is its kind of its own cul-de-sac. I would say, and certainly in the Illuminati, we don't accept scientific materialism. We do believe in God, in the concept of God, but obviously not in the same way that that Christians do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fascinating. So heliocentric means it's sun-centric, and Helios is the Titan sun god. So it's all satanic stuff there. But we got quite a few hands still up here. Some people requesting. Bear with us. Gonna have to rotate some speakers here in a minute here. But shout out to everybody down there in the listener section. Over 90 people in here. That's pretty awesome. Retweet the space. See what we can do in here. Let's get some favorites in here.
If you kick me, I swear to God, I'm coming to Arizona and getting a fucking suntan. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not going to happen real fast. But what's up, Taylor? What you got? I don't know if anything that Joseph said was needed a response.
Yeah, I was just wondering which God. They said that they believe in a different God, and I was just gonna ask them that question, but my mic wasn't working. I had to drop down and stuff.
Well, we don't believe in
Like,
a creator. We don't believe in a creator God. We believe that God is something that you can become. God is something that becomes in the universe. There's no creator of the, there's no creator God though of existence. Like existence was not created by a God. It was
that's
existence is
interesting.
eternal. Existence was never
You
created.
believe?
In fact,
Okay, existence is eternal. How do you know that? Like why would you say that?
it's just we have it figured out in logic and philosophy with
Oh,
our
really?
philosophy. Yeah.
What's the logic?
Philosophically, you say existence is eternal, not
Right.
scientifically, right? just philosophically?
Philosophically, yeah. I mean, existence being eternal is different from the universe, which apparently has had a finite beginning. So existence is not entirely synonymous with the
Existence of
universe
what?
as we know it. Just existence itself, the philosophical concept, the broad, the general concept of
Of
anything
something,
that
right? That'd
possibly
be
exists.
God.
Yeah. You can
It
call
couldn't
it
be the
God, but it's
material
not.
world.
No, it's not the material world. Yeah, and yeah, certainly you could call it God if you like, but it's not God in the Christian sense.
Why? How do you know?
And well, because we're talking about, just the general concept of existence. Now, does that concept have the properties to be able to create universes? Yes, it does have the property. It does have the ability to create universes. So I guess you
Why not in
can
the
call
Christian
it.
sense?
Um, Well, because the Christians don't really actually explain how that would be possible and what the nature of God is. In Christianity, the nature of God is never explained why it exists. It just exists. So you referenced infinite regress. I would suggest that that's an appeal to mystery, which is just as much of a problem as an appeal to infinite regress. So when you say that God just is, but you can't explain why God just is, then that's not philosophically complete. However, we can
What do
we
you
can
think has
explain.
an explanation? What is explained?
Well, we can explain existence, for example, that it would
How?
be eternal simply
How?
by asking if it was created.
And so you think the existence in what form is eternal?
Existence in its most general aspect. Yeah, and then you can actually work it out. Eventually, you work out that existence must have an internal mathematical structure, and it's composed of mathematics. So, in fact,
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Existence not in the
Mathematician.
materialistic sense, right?
right, not in the materialistic sense. Yeah, but the material world comes about from the metaphysical world,
How did that
which
happen?
is structured mathematically through the Fourier transform. It's a mathematical process called the Fourier transform.
Okay,
And
so you're assuming an
what causes the Fourier
intelligent
transform?
creator there, right?
Hold on a minute there, Rick. What was that, Taylor?
I was wondering what caused the Fourier transform.
What
A
causes it?
switch happened at some point. Yeah, because it went from metaphysical to physical. What is the cause of that? How'd that happen?
Well, it just happens. It's just a natural
Oh,
property of the mathematics, the metaphysical
It's
domain.
how does that happen?
spontaneous.
No, it's not spontaneous. Well, because
Then what causes it?
the eternal metaphysical domain is a domain of frequency. It's a domain of consciousness, intelligence, composed not of a single being, not of a single God, but of an infinite number of souls, basically. And this,
How those souls come about?
well, they're fundamental properties. They're fundamental mathematical structures which come about from
So
this
infinite
basic
souls
structure
is
of
fundamental,
existence.
but not an infinite God, which is in some
Right.
nature a soul.
Yeah,
Why? How do you
exactly. Yeah.
know?
Because well, I mean, I can give you the whole thesis if you like at some point.
Yeah,
But
definitely. Summarize it.
yeah, well, it's through the infinity multipliers. So if you can have one instance of a mathematical structure which necessarily exists, then you can have an infinite number of those mathematical structures which
But you're
necessarily
acting like it's a
exist.
fact.
Well,
You're
it's
acting
just a
like it's a
logical
matter of a
principle.
fact. You're saying if you can't have one, then you can have multiple. You're assuming. So just
We
based
call
on
it the
Occam's
principle of
razor,
sufficient
you're
reason.
having multiple unknown postulates, which is that you have multiple infinite souls instead of one infinite soul. So by Occam's razor, that would be disproven.
We call it the principle of sufficient reason, and the reasoning is
That's
that
not
if there
equivalent.
can be one instance of something, there's nothing to stop there from being an infinite number of instances of that
And what
something.
is this instance of what?
Especially because these instances can self-exist without needing to be created. They're eternal. So you can
An
have
You,
one.
you
instance
You
of
can
can
have
see
what?
any
that's
number
an
of.
appeal to possibility, right?
Well, we call it the principle of sufficient reason. Actually,
I
well,
call
it's
it
called the
desperate
infinity.
reaching.
It's called the infinity multiplier. Actually,
That's
Yeah,
that.
but
definition. We
that's
call it the infinity
like it
multiplier.
is an appeal to possibility because you're saying, oh well, if there can be an eternal soul, then there can be multiple eternal souls.
Right.
But actually that would go against logic in Occam's razor
Well,
because now
why would
you
there
have
be only
multiple
one?
abstract postulates that you have to explain.
No, it's
Well, yeah,
one.
I
Just one
call it
postulate. It's a single
Neoplatonism.
postulate.
Wait, hold on.
It's a single postulate.
What?
It's a single
No, it's
postulate that
multiple
creates
pos. Saying
multiple instances.
instead of one eternal being, now you're invoking multiple eternal beings, and you're not explaining like are they all simultaneously um authoritative?
They're all simultaneously eternal, and yeah, they are in their own domain authoritative. Yes.
Okay, I would say that violates Occam's razor and your possibility
I would say that it
of there, and not
satisfies it.
nor would that even explain creation. either.
It does explain creation, because then you apply the Fourier transform process, which these entities as souls are capable of doing, capable of performing. They can perform, or they can create a material universe out of
So
the
to
frequency
summarize,
structures.
he's saying like there's multiple interdimensional beings that have always been there, and they're the one that created it instead of one entity and being there eternally and it creating.
Essentially, that's
That's
not
what
too
he's
far
saying.
off. Yeah, we call them souls. We call them souls, and that's what we actually all are. That's what we are as souls.
Is there a ranking system to these souls, or
Not really.
who calls the shots?
Nobody really calls the shot. I mean, there can be groupings. There's groupings of souls which have their own interests. When they're in the material domain, obviously in the metaphysical domain, there's, when you're there, like if you astral travel and know how to perform those things,
Is there a
the
round
experience is
table where
pretty
all the
different.
souls gather around?
I mean, there could be in certain
Is it a
situations
legion?
for something that's not a general concept, but
Where's your source material for all of this? Where's this coming from?
I studied
Talmud,
with
probably.
I studied with a Pythagorean. No, we hate the Jews. We studied with a Pythagorean, or I studied with a Pythagorean Illuminati for 15 years.
Okay, so where did they get? Where's their source material? Where are they getting all this information from? Are these just their personal ideas, their beliefs, or do they have somewhere that it's grounded in that they're coming from? Like we have scripture, and we have witnesses, we have testimonies, we have facts. What do you have?
So we call it
basically
we call
it's
it the European.
Neoplatonism
he was
based on
asking me a question.
Hermeticism, right?
Wait, let him
Veritas,
answer.
Don't answer for me. Veritas, don't answer for me. We call it the European intellectual philosophical tradition, stretching back generally. Our first Grand Master was Pythagoras himself. Before that, it was not as tightly knit. Since then, it's been a pretty well established organization, secret society, if you will. And our
Do y'all
material
acknowledge the flood?
is the European intellectual tradition. I would say Leibniz and his monadology would be one of the most well-known, and is what I'm talking about. That's multiple instances of fundamental substance, infinite number of souls. Although Leibniz had a public version and a private version of his
what would be your what said? Yeah, this is it for you. What made you believe in all that?
Because of mathematical proof.
Like, what is the mathematical proof?
Drop the math in the chat, please.
Math magician. So hey, 10th degree, right?
Yeah.
You yourself, not us. I'm not leveling this on you. You are a self-proclaimed 10th degree. Fill in the blank, doesn't matter. Invoking metaphysical laws, which clearly you don't obey, and your secret society, which isn't secret, really likes to keep tabs on their people, right? So I think the 10th degree is probably the last degree you're going to reach, just even having this conversation. So take the mask off, buddy, and get to the fucking point. Like, what is the purpose of you even invoking this bullshit?
Don't dissuade him from sharing. Are you telling me shouldn't? I think he should expose it.
I came up earlier with Veritas.
I'm just calling him a fucking fraud because he's a fraud. Share all your fraud all you want, you fucking fraud.
So again, what is the? You said it's a mathematical something. What's the math?
Generally, it's called Euler's equation. The simplest thing to look at is Euler's identity, e to the power I pi plus 1 equals 0. That's how we resolve the fundamental paradox.
You went way too fast on. Did you say 1 + 1 = 0?
No, e to the pi. Yeah, e to
the I pi. E to the power of I times pi, all plus 1 equals 0. Yeah. Euler's identity.
Are you arguing for a holographic universe kind of?
It is holographic. Yeah, it's Fourier transform holography. Yeah. Yeah,
right. So exactly I just wanted to bridge the con because I think that's where he's going.
Yeah. Yeah, that's precisely.
Are you also in the? Are you also a Freemason?
No, I've just done LSD. When I was
I did a lot of LSD too, but it never led me to Freemason.
Yeah, but it never. Yeah.
I'm not a Freemason.
Okay.
So basically, you're confirming my assumption, right?
What was your assumption, Veritas, if you're speaking to me? What's that?
You're a pagan.
Yeah, pagan. Yeah, no, obviously. Yeah, of course it's paganism. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we love.
I think the heliocentric thing coming from paganism.
Solar configurations that happen in the sky. We love that. Like Christmas time, we celebrate because it's a unique astronomical.
So you saw a mathematical equation, and that was good enough for you?
Well, it wasn't simply that. It was obviously a build-up. The E to the I pi plus 1 equals 0. Euler's identity, that's the first thing that you get to, where you have to accept that there must be an internal structure in order
So
to...
how many souls does it take to make another soul?
Souls aren't made. You can't make another soul.
Then how did we all come about?
We've been eternal. We've always existed.
That's Hinduism.
Well, Hinduism may have had some convergence. I mean, there's rough convergence between everything. We're not Hindus, though.
We're all just a bunch of little Indians with no chief.
Sorry, but oh yeah.
So we're all God.
Essentially, yeah. That's
so
right.
we're all gods. So who do you worship, right? What God do you
No,
worship? If you said there's multiple gods,
we don't believe. We don't believe.
You just look in the mirror and go, "You're the man.
Disgusting.
You're the God."
We don't worship ourselves either. No, we think the concept of worship is disgusting.
Well, I mean, so how do you guys ever decide on anything?
Through reason.
What's the reason?
Mathematical justification.
What is a mathematical You can't just say these things. Tell me a process and say how the Great Lakes were formed. Who decided that?
Well, I think now you're talking about that's
who decided to bring forth the land? Who decided that was a good idea? How come we all didn't decide we wanted to be dolphins?
You may have been a dolphin in the past. That might be.
I didn't ask you what I might have been in the past. I asked you who decided to bring forth the land.
The land? You mean the land? Well, I mean that's obviously part of the material process of the universe, and there could be.
Well, it had no.
There could be higher powers.
You said everything got brought forth by souls. All the souls created everything as a group fucking project, and yada yada yada. Yeah. Which one of you guys said, "Hey, we want to be land dwellers"?
No. Once you start letting the physical material universe evolve, it evolves on its own. So planets will evolve on their own.
Who decided on the strawberry? Who decided strawberries were good?
Yeah, so there's definitely souls, that are building that shit. Yeah, so like this.
Who's deciding all this? Who determines?
These mere men and their mathematical ideas, right, Joe? Because you have no divine inspiration. We have scripture, we have Yahweh, we have God giving us His word on how He created everything, right? We have that. That's fact based. That's checked. You don't have that on your end, right? You just have men that are claiming to be gods and that their ideas are truth.
No, I didn't say that a man created the strawberry.
I mean, if you don't have anybody leading you, who's deciding who does what?
That's why evolution looks random.
There's no like God.
That's why the scientific materialists have thought that it looks random.
I mean, somebody had to say, "Go do this," right?
Yeah, it's because
no, you wouldn't believe in evolution. You believe in divine creation by pagan entities, right?
No, there's evolution, and souls are guiding that evolution.
What's the point if it's a holographic universe to evolve? Why couldn't they just create it? That makes no sense. The holographic matrix and evolution are non-compatible.
How can you say we got a bunch of souls? Hold on a second. How can you say there's a bunch of souls doing all this stuff and then say there's evolution?
Well, because the material universe, that's the whole. So yes, so you're asking a very big metaphysical question there. So a universe is created.
Seems pretty basic.
The universe is created from.
I mean, didn't you say souls are all eternal and stuff?
Yeah, that's right.
What's to evolve into?
It's to become perfect again. It's to go through the experience of becoming perfect again.
So you believe in reincarnation?
Yeah, it's cycling between.
No, so you are a Hindu.
And if there was a state of perfection,
that doesn't come from Hinduism.
Was the fall of
Yeah, you're a necromancer, dude.
What does a necromancer mean?
You play with the dead.
Oh yeah, you can talk to dead people. That's easy. I mean, that's fucking low
demons.
order. That's like a
Jesus fucking Christ! Is this fucking Ouija board? Is this Ouija board Friday with the fucking Freemasons, or what the fuck is going on?
I'm gonna put a stop to this because you're really just you're not really bringing any thing there. Evolution.
Well, in fact, I get asked 3 questions and then I never get to answer them. So
I asked you how do you say souls are infinite and always been around but need evolution?
No, souls don't need evolution. They play this game of evolution.
You said evolution exists, right?
Yeah, material evolution of physical bodies.
Why?
You're projecting purpose onto this holographic universe that has
it does have purpose. It does have purpose. Souls have purpose.
So what is that then? We're asking these very simple questions.
Yeah, it's the souls have purpose. Yeah, please.
Do you think a man can come back as a bug?
No, they don't come back as a bug. No, that part.
So a bug can't evolve into a man.
The part of a soul that my manifest as a bug a long fucking time ago would now be, you know, a man or something like that. Yeah, there would be no
Your
point.
evolutionist
Like
really
once a
good.
soul can incarnate as a human and you know, command the space and matter that a human can, it'd be so fucking pointless to be a bug again. Like the point is to keep on evolving into higher, more perfected beings. At some point, you don't actually need to incarnate anymore because the process you can separate entirely and just exist spiritually.
So
only.
you don't think a single cell organism could, you know, turn into a multi-complex organism?
Well, souls are guiding that process over a very long
So
time.
yes, you do.
Souls
So
are guiding that. Yeah, but it's not random like the scientific materialists say. Souls are guiding
if souls are infinite and always been around, why would one have to come here to Earth and start as a single cell organism?
I can answer that for you, and I hope that I don't get cut off this time. So if
wait, Joe, are you a Scientologist?
Yeah, so see, here we go. Here we go again. Like here we go. Like every time I try to answer a question,
no, go ahead,
3
Joe.
or 4 people fucking jump in. Like what the fuck,
TM's
Brian?
TM's got divine timing. Dude, shut the fuck up. All right. Are you aware of the CIA declassifying documents about the fact that we actually are light? Right? We are souls. That's it. So all of the fucking kabuki theater bullshit with your 10th degree masonry is bullshit. Nobody wants to hear it, bro. If you want to start a space on a Friday called I'm a 10th degree reject Mason, start your own fucking space. Quit wasting our
time. That comes
time.
from Illuminism. What you just referenced about the CIA comes from Illuminism, comes from my religion. Yeah, and that's
So,
right.
Yeah, your religion created that. You fucking retard. What else do you want to take credit for?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Everybody. I still want to know why a soul that's always been around, because we've always been around, needs to come to Earth and start off as a single cell.
Yeah, you keep shucking and jiving that, Joseph.
I love that question, B. That's a good question. And man, like if we had a bar, we could discuss that. So the point is, think of yourself as an infinite eternal being.
What does one learn as a single cell amoeba?
Oh man, I'm just trying to get there. I'm just trying to answer the question. I never am allowed to answer a question.
Yeah, let him build.
Hey man, fucking send me a DM when this faggot's gone. I gotta go because I'm gonna lose my shit.
Okay, short answer is for something to do because they're bored and they need something to do.
That's pretty weak story, bro.
That's what it is. Imagine yourself as an infinite, eternal, immortal being. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to go through a process of starting from zero and ending up creating gods. Because that's like the best.
So there isn't a being there isn't a being that's done that before everybody else and has become the supreme.
Yeah, we call that being no, but not permanently. Each universe goes through that experience. So we recognize a being that we called Abraxas.
How many times have you been reincarnated, Joseph?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he's still a single cell amoeba.
You know what? We got some hands going up. This your philosophy on life, man. I hope it works out for you, Joseph. I'm not sure it's gonna, but good luck with that thought process. So, you know, believe in what you want to believe. You know, it is what it is. What's up, KJ, man? How you doing?
I'd say those were really
actually Barbara was first, so go ahead, Barbara.
Is Rambler still there?
Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I was just what an amazing takedown of that guy. What a shame. I feel sorry for him.
So, Rambler, I'm in the UK as well. Would you agree with me that you can see Calais on a clear day from the beach of Dover? Yes or no?
Yeah, absolutely. You can. Yeah. You can see the top of the cliff. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah.
So do you know the altitude height of Calais?
I don't have the measurements, no, but I agree that you can definitely see straight from Dover to Calais.
Right.
100%.
So here's the numbers. The peak of Calais is 43 feet. The curvature drop from the beach of Dover to Calais is 226 foot. You have to look beyond 223 foot of curvature to see Calais. It never happens.
Yep. I take your point, mate. I take your point. Yeah.
You just answer. You hold on 2 seconds. You just answering my question has debunked the curvature rate.
Well, kind of, yeah. I think that, you know, I'd like to have a scientific experiment that literally does that exact experiment where we can shine a laser from one place to the other. But, you know, it's fine. And I appreciate you coming back on that one, mate. I really do. Thank you.
Well, Taylor's done something similar with the salt flags.
Yeah, exactly. It's hidden behind 223 foot of curvature. You should not be able to see it ever.
TM,
Like,
did you hear about my
ever.
follow-up experiment next month? Or less than 1 month from now?
Are you talking to Dan or Rambler?
What's it going to be?
Or Stone?
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I told you about going to the Hawaii Islands to Mauna Kea, the tallest mountain from bottom to top. It's like 13,000 feet from sea level, and yeah, doing some test observations up there and stuff. Like following up from the salt flat data to refute their like. They say, oh, you just need to get off the ground. After my salt flat data, they say, oh, just get off the ground. So that's what I'm essentially doing.
Brilliant. Yep.
Yep. And I'm looking, if y'all know anybody who has a zooming thermal camera, just hit my DMs. I have all the other stuff.
Thanks for the comment, Dan. I appreciate that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I mean, what we need is we need, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about just making sure that we have that evidence that supports that if I do shine a laser from Dover to Calais, that it isn't exactly the same level when it gets there. That's all. That's all we need. It's fine. I appreciate it.
But then you'd have to take into account refraction and reflection. Most globe earthers don't include reflection.
Yeah, of course, and that's kind of small, but yeah, I take your point. Yeah.
Who is after Barber?
Yeah, I was just
KJ's had his hand up for a minute.
I was just gonna ask Scrambler. He'd mentioned earlier the Bible being written over hundreds of years and us not being able to trust it, but then invoked carbon dating. Do you know if the Bible's ever been carbon dated? And if we can't trust what was written in Scripture over 100 years or so, how can we believe the carbon dating?
Yeah, I guess you can't believe a carbon dated Bible unless it was written 2,000 years ago and it was carbon dated, because carbon dating relies on the artifact being that old, and the Bible clearly isn't that old. Some of the passages obviously have been written over a period of time. And I believe carbon dating to be accurate because scientifically, apart from, of course, the examples that I've been given tonight, the 12,000, 20,000, a million-year-old snail, for example, there are going to be exceptions. But generally speaking, carbon dating has been usually accepted as being a reasonable way of dating things from the past.
Also, written words also been looked that way too, and the Bible's written words. So, and it's not that long ago, right? You want to carbon date things that are millions of years old. The Bible's not that old, and you kind of want to dismiss it because of its age. So I'm kind of.
I'm certainly not dismissing the Bible. I'm sorry if you think that I said that. I'm saying that the Bible, for me, is not my belief system, so therefore it's not what I.
It doesn't have to be your belief system. I'm just saying that you're willing to believe things that are millions of years old that there was nobody around for, that it's all just guesswork, and kind of push aside written scripture, right? That's all.
Well,
It's archaeologically verified. The Dead Sea Scrolls match carbon dated age.
Yeah,
and to like a few thousand years, it is accurate. It could be if you have a reference point.
At archaeology in general, because archaeology in general doesn't just fixate on Christianity. It doesn't fixate on the Bible. It doesn't fixate on the Dead Sea Scrolls. It doesn't fixate on
time, right? It's more of just just something to think about, right? Like